It's choke, no joke. Choke, no joke. Chicken choke, no joke. Choke, no joke. Niggas choke, no joke. Choke, no joke. Yeah. It's choke, no joke. Choke, no joke. Chicken choke, no joke. Choke, no joke. Niggas choke, no joke. Choke, no joke. Yeah. It's choke, no joke. Choke, no joke. Chicken choke. Choke, no joke. You know what it is. Let's go, let's go. I inspire y'all to all want more. Don't listen to these fakes and these frauds. They don't own cars with Lamborghini doors. When hype show cut, it's back to the store. I was born in the Jackson, this shit was hell. The place where I saw soldiers fall. Some simply for nothing at all. Some cause they lived on the other side of the wall. Now this might sound crazy, love what the hood made me. Poverty made me far from lazy. This ain't the place you wanna raise your babies. Young girls out here thinking they lazy. Snows powdered white, they brain all hazy. Ask them what they wanna be, they look at you crazy. These young cats out here looking all angry. I was just like them, sometimes the music made me act other than myself, no influence lately. Cause behind the scenes they not living greatly. And I found out that most of these cats never so jacks or the penitentiary. Let's go. I inspire y'all to all want more. Don't listen to the face and the frauds. They don't own cars and Lamborghini doors. The hype yo cut is back to the store. I inspire y'all to all want more. Don't listen to the face and the frauds. They don't own cars and Lamborghini doors. The hype yo cut is back to the store. They not selling drugs, they really not thugs. If they was, where are the slugs? Do you see them when you cop your drugs? Pulling up with S.to.B in the front? Nah, it's not what they got, it's what they want. In the jungle, we all on the hunt. It's chemical. It's chemical beats. You know what it is.
Let's go back to the pandemic.
Yeah.
When there was nobody on the street.
Choke, no joke. You know what it is. Let's go, let's go. 2020, rich niggas, money funny. We got killer bees and I lost my honey. My little sex master, yeah, she was a distraction to my mathematics. Then Corona happened. The government capping on what's really happening. Rock Nation signing niggas that's out here ratting. And Jay's the captain of the ship? Ain't this a bitch? You keep his sign and snitch? We lost Andre and Rich. Life's a bitch. Can't have a funeral no matter if you rich or poor. Overpopulated at morgues. Funeral homes, bodies all on the floor. No food in stores, no meat no more. These the last days if you never prayed. Have faith, all sort of illest of days. Yo, it's tough. When you see Puff rock a hoodie with his baby mama hanging from a cross, you lost. Damn, you told the CEO on the gram he was a handsome man. That's sexual harassment in front of millions of fans. You made Fab wanna scram like Sunday Letitia. Joseph don't leave, Mary and Jesus. Sags, self-pleasing, some sneak thievers. If we were kids, you call them flat leavers. They use you, don't need you. It's birth you, then see ya. Cross you, then be ya. Curve you and flee ya. Niggas wanna be you until they see you. They idolize you like you in the case. Nigga, you know who got punched in the face. In the A on stage or any place. A nigga like me never retire like Mace. And don't even care if the church is the escape. Last real nigga alive amongst your face. Y'all big bad, no frosting on my face. You can't come out, Epstein flight log is out. And tell us what that spirit cooking about. Head to head with a satanist and niggas in doubt. The power of the dark side block me out. That's why I'm black and get it in any sport trick. That's why you the non-factor. 6ix9ine keep acting like you ain't acting. You wasn't flagging in the court yapping. That tough guy on the gram was just blabbing. Nigga, you capping. I'm the king of New York. At y'all niggas, I'm laughing. at the plaza. Accents, nigga. We at the plaza. It's the king of New York. Choke, no joke. We here now. You know what it is. Eat 'em all. Stand up.
It's joke, no joke, no joke. Oh. You know what it is. We in the building, all right? We in the building like your children. Turn my Insta grills on. I ain't even sent out my notifications. Joke, no joke, I'm in the building. Let me tell y'all, man. It's some serious fans out here that have a problem with reality, right? Now, y'all know for the last I don't know. It's been years, right? That I've been telling people that going on Vlad and talking about criminal stuff when you're doing illegal stuff will get your ass locked up. This is I don't even this it ain't 10 years since he been doing this, but it's been well over 5, right? That he's like took his whole narrative and got away from hip hop and just started using hip hop people to talk about crimes. And so his latest victim is Boosie. And I think a lot of y'all get it twisted like that we all don't like Boosie. We all like Boosie. You know what I'm saying? And people hitting me up in comments and shit like, oh, you hating on Boosie. Oh, you want to see Boosie go to jail. You want to see a black man down. No, Boosie is fucking doing this to himself. I'm the one that's out here forewarning his ass, right? Stop going on there running your mouth, nigga. You can get up there and talk about all kind of shit. You still gonna get the same views because niggas like your personality. But stop putting yourself at risk. You know what I'm saying? And that goes not just for him, but for all these dudes that go up there and doing that. You know what I'm saying? ARAB, he another one that was defending Vlad. You know what I'm saying? Oh no, Vlad, I ain't go to jail for Vlad, this, that, and other, you know, you know, blah, 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 blah. But he don't see that, you know, Vlad just gave him an alley-oop. You know what I'm saying? Vlad is giving all y'all that go on Vlad and talk about criminal stuff is like Vlad's Kobe giving Shaq an alley-oop on a 2-foot rim. You know what I'm saying? That nigga gonna dunk it every time. Boom. He gonna break the rim. Backboard. Boosh. Boosh. He just giving these niggas the alley-oop. These niggas coming through like Shaq. Blam! Right into the jail cell. Nigga dunking as soon as his feet hit the ground. The fucking police is there waiting for him to lock his ass up. So it's like y'all take everything as hate. Everything is hate. Everything is hate. When I'm telling you, I'm just a dude that's like, yo, you play with fire, you're gonna get burned. Oh, nigga, I know what I'm doing. I'm a fire. I'm a fire performer. You know what I'm saying? Nigga, I've been playing with fire since the Boy Scouts. You stupid. I know what I'm doing. And it's like, all right. Nah, nigga, fire is my friend. Nigga, I hang with the devil. You think I'm scared of some fire? Lucifer's my man. It's like everybody got to be hating. And now you got everybody questioning, oh man, was it Vlad interview that got Boosie locked up? You know what I'm saying? Is it Vlad interview that got him re-indicted? I showed y'all the day the interview came out. He said what he said. The next day they filed the indictment. 3 paragraphs, not even long, 2.5 paragraphs. So now I'm hating on him. I want to see him locked up. Nigga, what are you talking about? I'm the one that was warning him. Now, here's the other part of it. For all y'all that's saying, turn my Instagram on. For all y'all that say, oh, you want to see him go to jail. Are you idiots forgetting that this nigga already pled guilty to the shit? Like, y'all still acting like somebody trying to dry snitch on this nigga or something like this. This is a gun that he already pled guilty to. G7 Billy, what up? So I just wanted to say that real quick. Shout out to everybody on my Instagram. Just want y'all to say, all y'all out there that say, oh man, y'all niggas hating on Boosie. Y'all want Boosie to go to jail. This, that, and other. Boosie has a problem listening to constructive criticism. He take it as hate. Okay? Yeah, this is the only page I got. The other page is gone. He take it as hate, man. Everybody's not hating. Like, come on, man. If you want to go ahead and get the flag curse, go ahead. Go ahead. But stop y'all out here, Boosie fans, because we all Boosie fans. But don't get mad at us because that nigga sat there and went and got his motherfucking ass in trouble. Right, come right out the courtroom and run right over to Vlad and go sit down and do a fucking interview that got his ass re-indicted. And if you think Vlad's line of questioning ain't why he got re-indicted, I don't know what the fuck to tell y'all. So shout out to Boosie, man. Ain't nobody hating on you, baby boy. You just don't listen. You listen with your pockets. You don't listen until your ass get on Instagram and crying and shit. Man, this judge is racist. And Boosie, shut up, bro. Stop talking shit about the judge, nigga. And the prosecutors. Chill out. You're making it worse for yourself. You talking about saying that, yo, the president need to pardon me. Pardon you for what? You pled guilty to the shit, my nigga. You want niggas to have sympathy when niggas seen you with the gun? Seen you get in the car with the shit? That nigga follow you, pull you over? Then you go and try to talk your way out of it instead of just shutting the fuck up and saying, yo, I need a lawyer. You giving more statements trying to talk yourself out of it, and they got you talking to them. Then you go to court and you plead guilty after involuntary statements. Nigga, you like, come on, bro. Y'all gonna stop with this shit, man. This fan favoritism, have sympathy for niggas, grown ass men doing dumb shit. He gonna sit there and let Vlad ask him, yo, nigga, well, you had a gun. Nigga, why did you have a gun? Why did you feel the need to have the gun? Ah, man, allegedly, yeah, but it ain't alleged. You pled guilty to the gun. You pled guilty to the gun. Nobody told on you. Your ass pled guilty to the gun because they offered you 2 years probation and time served. So all y'all that's these little butt, just a little bit butt hurt. That everybody is saying the obvious, seeing the obvious. And I don't know why this dude runs to social media emotional and bash the people at the court that he got to go to next week and see. And then they don't give you no bail or no shit like that. Then what you gonna say? Oh, they don't like me. Oh, they racist. This, that, and the other. Nigga, stay on social media talking bad about these people, my nigga. You gotta go, like, you already see they got a hard on for you. Like, why would you put your ass up in the air for them to ram it? They got a hard on for you, my nigga. You want to just give them the butthole? Like, I don't understand. Why would you keep antagonizing them, seeing that they already fucking with you? And you know you got off by some bullshit. Because they let you off, they would have to let every person that has a nonviolent felony, which, and here's the other thing. This Ninth Circuit thing that they ruling on, they didn't make the rule yet. It's in ruling. They getting ready to make a decision on it in like the next couple of weeks. They ain't gonna have no answer to the end of the year. And being that they ruling on it is why they was able to use that for him to get his case dropped or dismissed. But there's a whole bunch of people in jail right now that's nonviolent felons that got caught with a gun that is hoping that this go through so they could put in an appeal in their case and hopefully get out – because they got convicted after this shit got overturned.
'Cause they got convicted after this shit got overturned. 'Cause they got convicted after this shit got overturned. 'Cause they got convicted after this shit got overturned. 'Cause they got convicted after this shit got overturned. 'Cause they got convicted after this shit got overturned. 'Cause they got convicted after this shit got overturned. 'Cause they got convicted after this shit got overturned. 'Cause they got convicted after this shit got overturned. 'Cause they got convicted after this shit got overturned. 'Cause they got convicted after this shit got overturned. 'Cause they got convicted after this shit got overturned. 'Cause they got convicted after this shit got overturned. 'Cause they got convicted after this shit got overturned. 'Cause they got convicted after this shit got overturned. 'Cause they got convicted after this shit got overt
Y'all sitting here acting like this nigga innocent. Yeah, and this is the same nigga when he got pulled over with that little boy in the car, and or that young man in the car, and Boosie said, "Oh yeah, the gun is his, the drugs and shit is mine. I'll take the weed, but the gun is his." Nigga, shut up. You ain't had to put that gun on that little boy. You didn't have to say nothing. It could have been an illegal search. They probably have probable cause to even pull y'all over. But you don't put the gun on him. So now if he would go to trial for the gun and say, yo, the gun ain't mine, would Boosie gonna go to court and say it's his? The little nigga ain't say nothing. Boosie said, oh, the gun is his. I'll take the weed, but the gun is his. Yeah, because he know he could beat a little weed charge. Little, oh, no more weed for a few weeks. Or fucking probation or community service. The gun is his. Like, threw the little nigga right under the bus. That shit ain't my gun. The gun is his. Y'all ain't say he was a snitched in, right? That nigga was a whole cold snitch right there on fucking the police body cam. The gun is his. I'll take the weed. He ain't have to say shit. Let them niggas arrest both of them. Let the lawyers find out why they pulled them over. Because they might can get the shit thrown out. Now, Boosie wanted to make sure that gun went to that nigga because he know as the driver, the gun go on him. Because he's the owner of the vehicle. The gun is his. Y'all ain't never see that? Nigga talking all this real nigga shit. Fuck out of here. Is this it? I think this is it. Oh, here you go. Nah, it is it right here. Hold on. Let's get our legal thing in here. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowances made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is use permitted by the copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing nonprofit educational personal use tips. The balance in favor of fair use. Right? Right. And I'm using this under fair use for criticism, comment, and news reporting. Okay? Check this out.
All right. So long story short, it's your marijuana, it's your gun.
It's my marijuana, okay.
Right? So it was on your side and in your bag.
It ain't just his gun. I'll take the marijuana.
I got you. Yeah. But the other
You
thing,
ain't gonna give him no marijuana and gun charge. I'll take the marijuana.
no. I'm not saying charges wise. I'm just saying who's in possession. Okay, because you're looking at this guy, right? You had the marijuana and you had the gun. Okay. You speeding and littering. Okay. So that's what I'm looking at right now. Right now. So long story short, it's your marijuana, it's your gun.
It's my marijuana, okay.
Right? So it was on your side and in your bag.
It ain't just his gun. I'll take the marijuana.
I got you. Yeah. But the other
You
thing,
ain't gonna give him no marijuana and gun charge. I'll take the marijuana.
no. I'm not saying charges wise. I'm just saying who's in possession. Okay, because you're looking at this guy, right?
He like, hold on, Boosie. I'm not charging him with the gun. I'm just saying he has possession of it because it was on his side of the car. Relax, nigga. You ain't like you putting charges on this nigga already. Don't say nothing. Let the cop explain everything. And then you call the lawyer when you get to the goddamn precinct. Right? That's all he doing is saying, yo, I'm saying that you're in possession of the gun because the gun was on your side. I'm not charging you with the gun. I'm just saying you're in possession of it until we figure this out. Yeah, the gun says, yeah, I'll take the weed. You ain't gonna give him no weed and no goddamn gun. I'll take the weed. Why don't you take the gun and let him take the weed? You the nigga with the money, right? That nigga said, Money said, yeah, oh, I got the gun. He know to shut the fuck up. He don't say nothing. Watch.
All right. So long story short, it's your marijuana, it's your gun.
It's my marijuana, okay.
Right? So it was on your side and in your bag.
It ain't just his gun. I'll take the marijuana.
I got you. Yeah. But the other
You
thing,
ain't gonna give him no marijuana and gun charge. I'll take the marijuana.
no. I'm not saying charges wise. I'm just saying who's in possession. Okay, because you're looking at this guy, right? You had the marijuana and you had the gun. Okay, you speeding and littering. Okay, so that's what I'm looking at right now. Right now, I'm checking you out, see if you're a felon. I got you. But if you're not, then we can. You know what I'm saying? Okay.
Appreciate it. We can't know.
Yeah. So we're trying to make sure we're trying dotting our I's, dotting our T's. Okay. So stand by for me. Be patient. We'll get y'all out of here. Can't go so fast, man. Y'all just stand by, okay?
Now, look at this. He's getting ready to catch a gun charge because this fucking nigga is speeding and throwing shit out the fucking window. Motherfucker, why are you speeding, smoking weed in the car, smelling like weed, and you speeding and you throwing shit out the car, out the fucking window? Niggas, look, we don't litter in Georgia. Nigga, I don't even litter no more. I'm so used to it being clean and everything. New York back in the days, whatever funk, nigga, you just throwing shit on the floor. You open some shit, throw it on. You ain't even waiting to get to the corner to the garbage. I done grew out of that shit being in the South where it's clean. You feel guilty to fucking even flick a damn cigarette butt out the goddamn car window. Nigga, you littering and shit and speeding, and you got a gun and weed in the car. You this nigga's an idiot, bro.
I don't know.
Did you get for the egg assumptions or something?
Yeah, I got a woman do, but it was she on site.
Okay. Okay.
I can throw this over she on.
If you ever get a chance to go back to Louisiana,
Have a seat in the truck. I'll be right with you, okay?
it's like
You have a seat in the truck. I'll be right with you.
I'm doing conviction, sir.
All right, sir. Have a seat in the car. Okay. Your ammo is in the dorm. Your gun is in the car. Okay. Do not touch it until I get y'all out of here.
Okay.
So clear?
Okay.
All right. Have a seat for me.
That's it.
Yep. Just have a seat. Yep.
Anyway, the point is, just shut the fuck up. All right? Just shut up. That's just the point. Just shut up, man. Just shut up. So I just want to get in to this real quick, right? Since we on the subject of criminals, right? Now, shout out Mav Hoffa, right? Because Mav Hoffa, I can't remember. as y'all know, Math Hoffa was on my show before when he fell out with SO and them, and they had this whole thing over money, this, that, and the third, right? And the dude SO Heineken, they left the show. So we all get on Math Hoffa, and you know, come to find out, he came on my show, and I mean, he had kind of some valid reasons. You know, if you tip the scale on it, I think he was more on the higher end in that situation, right? Then he lose the dude bigger the man of God, right? And you know, he was on the show, whatever. Then he lost him. So everybody started looking at Math Hoffa as the bad seed in the bunch because now, you know, everybody's leaving. So now the dude Champ, right? The dude Champ and the girl baby girl, is it Christy or Christy? I can't think right now. Don't forgive me, sister. I can't think her name right now. Chastity. I think it might be Chastity. Right. But anyway, the girl on the show, she's gone. And so then now it left Champ. So Champ was like the last of the Mohegans outside of Mecca and Gat Murderer. And as of lately, I haven't even seen Mecca on there. So now it's like it's just him and Gat through. It's like all the chairs was taken up in the barbershop. Now just two niggas in the chair, and all the other seats is empty outside of the guests that come in there, right? So it made Matt Hoffa look like the bad guy, right? So when Champ left, everybody's like, oh, yeah, it gotta be Matt Hoffa, right? But this time around, I gotta give it to Matt Hoffa. He dodged the bullet with this Champ dude. Now the dude Champ, you know, I hit him up a few times on social media. We had a few back and forths, and I would tell him, yo, my nigga, leave the jail-ish alone, right? Because he just came home from jail. Well, not just came home from jail, but you would think he just got out of jail yesterday, the way that he keeps saying, yo, you know, I just came home from jail. You know what I'm saying? Jail, jail. And I'm like, yo, bro, stop saying you just came home from jail. Leave the jail shit behind you to move forward, brother. Because if you stay in that criminal mind, you will stay in that criminal mind. And I'm thinking this nigga just came home from jail like 2 months ago. This nigga been home from jail for some years now. But, you know, a lot of these jail niggas get infatuated with telling jail stories or want to get a pat in their back because they survived being jail. Once I got out of jail, I ain't talking about it no more. I'm not remembering the days, the years, the time, how long I've been home. Nigga, I did that shit. That shit's the chapter going, I'm going. I ain't sitting around talking about Jack Mack stories and all this dumb shit, right? So I'm trying to give him that jewel, that inspiration, brother. Jail was one part of your life, my nigga. Stop talking about it. Move on with life because you will stay in a criminal state of mind, right? Oh, choke, you know, this is what I do. I know what I'm doing. You know, that's part of me. So, you know, it's a reminder to tell niggas, you know, my nigga, you ain't got to keep reminding niggas not to go to jail or about jail. Like, that is a reminder, especially for niggas like myself that been there before. I just needed to experience that shit one time to let me know, oh, nigga, I ain't doing shit illegal no more Because I'm not going back to that motherfucker. Like, I ain't had friends that I grew up with. I went to the streets. They went legit their whole life. We met at the fork in the road. That nigga went legit. I went to the streets. When we came back in the meeting that later in life, nigga, I got all these cases and dumb shit and lost homies and friends and niggas that went to jail. This nigga ain't never been to jail, never seen a jail cell, never fucking caught a fine, probation, nothing. And we back at the same age. We grew up at the same age, a fucking month apart, growing up, went to elementary school, everything. This nigga never fucking touched drugs, nothing. And then he never get pinched because he fucking worked his whole life. And we come right back into the same shit, right? And here I got all this shit, and he ain't got shit on his record. And we grew up in the same fucking neighborhood our whole life. I fell on the peer pressure of the streets. He didn't. Just real shit. Just real shit. So Champ is looking bad out here. He left the Math Hoffa show. He said he lived at some point or another. More recently, he hooked up with Bimmy. All right, Bimmy from the Supreme Team, Queens. Right, Bimmy being a good dude. Shout out Bimmy. Threw the dude Champ a lifeline, right? Yo, my nigga, I'm gonna look out for you. You know what I'm saying? Come rock with me. Boom, 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 boom. He gonna bring him around some other people. This is why you see, I move by myself, and I'm not by myself, but I don't bring a gang of niggas around situations, around business people. I learned that shit early on. You don't bring a bunch of niggas, and when I say niggas, I mean ignorant black people, right? Or Latin people, or whatever, white boys, whatever it is, white trash. You don't bring ignorant people around people that you built a rapport with, especially when you're doing business, because you don't know how other people going to carry themselves. So I don't bring a bunch of niggas to sophisticated, civilized individuals. I just don't do it. You know what I'm saying? If I know that you not if I tell you, yo, we can go to this event tonight, and you say to me, yo, what's the dress code? I already know I can't fuck with you, right? I can't take you nowhere because I shouldn't have to tell you how to dress. Because if somebody invite me to somewhere to go out, I ain't got to ask them how to dress. I might ask them what kind of event it is, but I ain't asking what's the dress code because I know how to dress like a grown-ass goddamn man anywhere that I go. And there ain't gonna be nowhere that I'm gonna show up to that I can't get in unless they say it's a black tie affair. And I know I gotta have a tux or something like that, right? So for that, I don't deal with everybody. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to take niggas to the golf club, to the golf course, knowing that they don't even know that there's already a dress code at the golf course. And nigga might not even have the type of outfit just to go golfing. You know what I'm saying? So just simple things like that. Now, Bimmy is a street nigga or a former street nigga, but he still moved like a street nigga. He still got the mentality that, yo, I'm gonna take niggas out the hood and show niggas something different. Fuck that. I'm not doing that. Not at this age. You know what I'm saying? If a nigga changed his life and changed his lifestyle, yeah. But if a nigga just came home and he's still half-ass institutionalized, I'm not bringing a nigga around shit. Especially if I haven't been around him enough to know that he is the type of person that I can. Right? So to make a long story short, Bimmy he goes one step further and flies this nigga out to Nashville and brings him around some people that are in a better position in life than Champ is, than probably Bimmy is, right? So they go sit, hanging out with these people. Bimmy doing some business with these people. He tried to bring Champ in because he getting ready to do a podcast. So he tried to bring, the street niggas around and try to show niggas a different side of life, to expose them to something new so they could get inspired and want to do things. What you call it? Big E, what up? So wait, what happens is this. It's a long story. I'm gonna make it short and brief. Bimmy flies Champ out to Nashville, Tennessee. They out there kicking it. I believe Nashville, Tennessee. They out there kicking it. Champ is out there on their dollar, right? He ain't spending no money. He ain't got to spend no money. They got him covered. This, that, and that. So he's around these people, and these people are inviting them into their home and letting them stay there. This, that, and the third. The nigga Champ goes in these people's house. And this ain't Bimmy's house. There's people that he's dealing with. And he goes in there, and the nigga steals somebody's credit card. He goes in a house that he's never been before, acting like he, or saying he was going to use the bathroom. And he go in there to use the bathroom. And he go roaming through these people's house, go in somebody's bag, take their credit card and shit, and then go back to New York and go use the card in the bodega and then run to the Apple store and try to fucking spend like $40-something thousand. $40-something thousand. This nigga thought he was going to buy a whole fucking studio and get his own podcast shit popping. I don't know what the fuck he was trying to buy for $47,000. I'm just guessing. But to go into the Apple store and spend $40-something thousand, like, nigga, you thought you was going to be able to do that? So let me show you him. I'm still under fair use over here. This is the most embarrassing shit in the world, man, that a nigga could go through. Look, so they was at the pool, and he said he wanted to go use the bathroom. So they told him, yo, use the pool bathroom. I mean, the bathroom in the pool house. He like, nah, I'm going to go use this one, right? Not knowing they got cameras in there, right? This nigga goes in. Jaquita, good looking. I appreciate it. Thanks for the cash app. Much love. He go in these people's house, bro. Now, look at him. He walk in. He looking to the left. He see this joint. Now he goes look to the right. Right? He's never been in this house before. This is the first time in this house. right? He looks that way. Now he looks this way. He sees something. He walks in there. Bam. Look, come out with the phone and the credit card. Look like he looking up too, but he looking straight ahead. Yeah, he did look up. Put his head down and shit. Then they got him coming into the and he went back to New York. Here you go right now with the credit card. That's Champ. You look at him, you can tell it's him. Go buy some Dutches. Some Black and Miles. Look, he used a credit card. You see he used it? He swiped it on there backwards. He watching the thing. See if it go through. Bling, bling, went through. Thank you. I'm out. I don't need no receipt, nothing. Dirty. Dirty work. Dirty work. Nigga, why would you take these people? Like, you think that these, yo, man. See, there's a nigga that been in jail a long time that don't know how technology, you can't do that type of shit these days. You can't steal nobody card and go and swipe it and think you're not going to be on camera, nigga. You can't go on nobody's house and steal and think you're going to be on camera. Now, here's the bad part about this, right? Bimmy was trying to look out for a nigga that was doing bad and invited him to some shit that eventually, it's like, yo, it's like, yo, man, would you rather have dinner with Bimmy or steal a person's credit card? No, they say, yo, would you rather 500,000 or a dinner with Jay-Z? Like, my nigga, you would have hung out with Bimmy. You would have got on the podcast. You see these people who are rich. They might have just threw you a couple of G's in a couple of weeks. Just working. Nigga, you go for the petty money. All you got out of that shit was 3 Black and Miles, man. Now, I don't know if these people pressing charges on him, if he gonna go to jail for this or not, but that shit was stupid, bro. That was so fucking stupid, bro. That was petty. Now, do you invite a nigga like him to your house? He's gonna be looked at as a thief now. Ain't nobody gonna trust him. I feel bad for Bimmy with that. Because now every nigga that Bimmy bring around with these people, they gonna be like, what type of niggas he's hanging with? Damn, guy, you only hang with guys that came out of jail? You only hang with criminals? You don't have nobody around you that has never been to jail, Bimmy? Like, man, all your guys are for fucking jail, man. What's going on, guy? Like, nigga got to sleep with one eye open and around these niggas. Nigga have a metal detector in their crib when Bimmy crew come through fucking with Champ. If I was Bimmy, I would be like, yeah, I can't fuck with none of y'all niggas. Fuck that shit. Y'all niggas gonna fuck my whole shit up. But shout out to Bimmy, man. Don't ever stop being a good nigga and giving niggas opportunity, man. You know. Oh, let's get to this. Now, I'm still under fair use here, right? Getting back into this Biggie case and Tupac case, right? Like, I need y'all to understand, man, that this murder rap story with Poochie and all that other stuff, I need y'all to always remember that those words came from Reggie. Reggie told them Southside killed Biggie in retaliation for Tupac not getting their money. And that whole thing is built around that. Greg Caden is running around here talking about like he solved Tupac murder. I need y'all to remember he was on the Biggie case. Okay? Greg Caden was on the Biggie case. All Greg Caden information come from Reggie. Okay? And I'm going to show you how slick Greg Caden is sitting here playing on people's intelligence. If you don't know this case and you sit down and watch some of these interviews, you would think that this motherfucker worked in Vegas. He's LAPD, former LAPD. He's full of shit. He did not work on the goddamn Tupac murder. Stop listening to this nigga, man. That's not his jurisdiction, Vegas. And I'm going to give you a better example of what I'm talking about. And like I said, I'm still under here on fair use to criticize and comment on this dude. Look at this.
Please, Greg. So Keefe D's name came up early on in the investigation because we knew that his nephew Orlando Anderson was the primary suspect from the start. And so his name was always associated with the case.
Now he said, now Keefe D name came up early in the case because his nephew was a suspect. In what? In the Biggie case? Nigga, you was not working on Tupac's case, Greg Caden. So why are you saying act like you was investigating Tupac's case? He's full of it. Watch.
But we knew that he wasn't going to come in and just divulge incriminating information or divulge information about his nephew without us compelling a statement. So we put a bunch of effort into getting him into a situation where it would be in his best interest to cooperate. And that happened in 2009, where he sat down with us and admitted to his role in the murder of Tupac Shakur.
And you had built a big drug case against him, didn't you, Greg?
Yeah, we were doing undercover narcotic buys. We were buying kilos of cocaine, gallons of PCP. What our intent was to get enough of a narcotics case against him to where he was facing a life sentence. And it would be that, that situation that he would have to deal with. And it would be that situation that compelled him to cooperate.
Greg, we know that.
Once again, that was to get him to talk about the Biggie case, not the Tupac case. This dude is cat.
Dwayne Keefe D. Davis has called himself a gangster proudly, been somebody who's been very proud of his criminal past. How bad of a gangster is he, would you say? I know you have a lot of experience investigating gang cases. Where does he kind of fall on the scale of really bad criminals to the ones who are not so bad but want to kind of look tough?
Yeah, Keefe D was an older guy within his inner circle of gang members, so he had a little bit of influence just, by way of that. But also he was the predominant drug dealer, and so he had money, and with money comes influence. And he didn't have necessarily a violent history, but he did have a pretty solid narcotic history. And within the hierarchy of gangs, oftentimes the people with the money are the ones that kind of call the shots. And so that would have been more him. He's more of a legend in his own mind than the streets give him credit for.
Right. His book title, Compton Street Legend, and all his bragging in the book is what got him in trouble. So these admissions that he made under this immunity agreement were protected at the time, at the outset of the investigation. So law enforcement really couldn't go anywhere with it. But you all knew of his involvement. You knew of his nephew's involvement. But then now the game changed, didn't it? With him making those admissions in the book publicly that are not covered by immunity at all.
That's correct. And there's a technicality here that probably should be cleared up. We've never offered him any type of immunity. What he had was an understanding that if he sat down with us, anything he told us that was incriminating, we wouldn't use that information against him within the auspices of that law enforcement relationship. But once he left that and began to talk publicly about his role in the murders, then that he was no longer protected from his own self-incrimination. And that is what got him into hot water. That he was.
Nigga, you put out the goddamn audio of him before he wrote a book, said anything, did an interview, anything. You put out Murder Rap, and you put out the audio of him telling the story. You put out the story. You put it out. You did. Nobody would have knew what he said. You did.
Was never offered immunity.
I appreciate you clearing that up, Greg, because I've heard that disseminated. And it was my understanding maybe there was a non-prosecution agreement, which we know, sometimes prosecutors will obtain those. They'll be signed off on. It'll be a formal agreement. So this was informal just to try to crack this case. But then he was out of bounds in his recent book writing. I've got a clip from Lieutenant Jason Johansson with the Las Vegas Police Department when they publicly spoke about the announcement of Keefe D's arrest. He talks about how they knew this information back in 1996. Let's watch.
Members of Death Row Records spotted Orlando Anderson near an elevator bank inside the MGM. At that time, they began to kick and punch him. That's when, within the first few months of the investigation, our detectives knew most of the information I just briefed you on. However, we never had the necessary evidence to bring this case forward and present it for criminal charges. It wasn't until 2018 that this case was reinvigorated as additional information came to light related to this homicide. Specifically, Dwayne Davis's own admissions to his involvement in this homicide investigation that he provided to numerous different media outlets.
Greg, I want to talk to you about the incident that started it all, really, that fight, and also what precipitated the fight too, the stealing of the chain robbery. And so my understanding, the story goes like this. Keefe D and his nephew Orlando Anderson are members of the Southside Crips. They live in Compton. They were in Vegas for the fight weekend, just like Tupac and the Death Row crew were. And at the hotel that night, a man named Trayvon Lane, who ran in Tupac's group, told Tupac and Suge, hey, Orlando Anderson, that's the guy over there who took my Death Row chain earlier at the mall. And Tupac and Suge made it their fight, as we see here in this video. I'm curious what you think of Trayvon Lane, Greg, if he knew what he was doing when he sort of instigated this, because he's supposed to be Tupac's boy. But it's my understanding, I've seen an interview with Mob James where he says that Trayvon Lane knew what bad guys Orlando Anderson and his crew were, but Tupac had no idea who Orlando Anderson was. Do you think there's any responsibility with Trayvon Lane in all this?
No, not so much as any responsibility for Tupac's actions.
Is this motherfucker stupid or something? No, he ain't got nothing to do with Tupac ashes. If he said, first of all, the chain story, y'all, is a lie. I'm telling y'all that's a lie. The fucking chain story is a lie. Them niggas was beefing because they used to live in the same hood, and that nigga the nigga changed colors, and they had a fight. The fucking chain just broke off in the scuffle. That shit wasn't about no fucking chain, nigga trying bounty on the chain. All that shit was an alibi for niggas to send Pac over there to go fucking jump on this nigga so they can have an alibi to smoke him and Suge ass. This motherfucker don't know what he's talking about, all right? Remember, he worked on the Biggie case. Dre just joined the gang, all right? Membership gang, Dre in the building.
He did, because Trayvon Lane, understands the whole gang world. He's from that world. He sees an enemy amongst them. There was a long history of conflict between these crews. And
once again, Greg Caden, you don't know what you're talking about. That would be a lie. What do you mean there's a long history between these crews? Between Southside and the Mall Pyru? That's a lie. Keefe D just saw Suge the night before. Suge walked over to him at the MGM, gave him a pound. They was cool. Keefe D said him and Suge was cool. Suge used to watch Orlando Anderson play Pop Warner football. They never had a beef. So where's this long history of beef? Show us, Greg Hayden. Show us where they had a long history of beef. I know Trey was from Long Beach and turned Pyru. You are 100% right, whoever you are. But this is getting ready to end. Y'all got to come to my YouTube. All right? Peace. Instagram. You go give TikTok some love on the live. Now, once again, you talking about it's been a long. Nigga, you don't know what you talking about, Greg Caden. You don't know what you talking about. And hey, prove to us there's been a long rival between Southside and Death Row on Compton Crips. I mean Pyrus before the Tupac incident. Tell us of 5 incidents between those two that you could say are long going history of beef between these two. Give us 5 incidents, Greg Caden, between Southside Crips and the Mob Pyru before the Tupac shit. We'll wait.
And so all Trayvon did was what anybody would do is say, hey, just, be aware. There's a guy across the lobby there who's one of our adversaries. Tupac took it upon himself to then run across the lobby and sucker punch Orlando Anderson. And so I don't think...
Another lie. This man has no fucking idea what he's talking about. Trayvon ever gave you a statement, Greg Caden, for you to say that? Did Trayvon ever give you a statement for you to say that?
Trayvon intended that to happen at all. He was just simply telling Tupac, hey, I know you don't get all of this, but one of those guys right there, kind of keep your eye on, because our enemies are among us.
How do you just sit up there and make up some shit like that? How did he just sit there and make up some shit like that? And this lady, she don't know shit listening to this man.
I really appreciate your insight on this, Greg, because there's a lot of speculation, a lot of blaming and finger pointing, as you know, from a lot of people, who were in these circles. When it comes to what Tupac knew at the time, we know that he had an affiliation with the Mob Pyru Bloods, but just an affiliation, not a gang member. But I wonder if that affiliation could have even been a bit problematic. I wonder how much of the gang culture Tupac really experienced and understood. I wonder if he knew what a bad guy this was that he was attacking, if he ever would have gone after him. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, it was definitely a fatal mistake. I think in Tupac's naivete, he thought that he could get away with this, that it would just be a street fight, so to speak. But he was embracing that gang culture. If you look at the history of what happened to him, he had left New York after being kind of betrayed by friends out there. He was embraced out here with Suge Knight and Death Row Records and the Mob Pyru entourage that affiliated with them. So
he left New York. He didn't fucking live in New York, bro. What are you talking about? He left New York because he was betrayed by his friends and went to... Yo, shut up, Greg Caden, bro. Like, he's 100 times worse than these other platforms who swearing they black and knowing what they talking about. Fuck out of here.
he was finding himself this sense of brotherhood, or, you know, this kind of atmosphere of loyalty and friendship. And I think that is what spurred him to go and say, hey, I'm down with you guys. I know you've got my back. Let me show you that I've got yours.
Tupac said to be a loyal guy. Everybody who knew him said he was really loyal to the people that he cared about. Greg, you arguably know more about Tupac's case than anybody out there. You were handed all of Russell Poole's files.
Lady, that's blasphemous right there. Greg Kading knows more about the Tupac case than anybody out here. Lady, you don't know who the fuck you talking to right now. Lady, you are tripping. Like, your nose, your forehead, your lip should be busted. You're tripping. You done fell and bumped your goddamn head. He know more than anybody about the Tupac case. You're smoking crack, lady. He's not even from Las Vegas Metro PD. He's from LAPD. He was not working on the Tupac case, lady. He don't know shit.
I read that there were, binders upon binders, like close to 100 binders that he gave you to dig in, and you've been all over this case for years. You've written about it in your book, Murder Rap.
At what point is he going to correct this lady and say, oh, when Russell Poole gave me all his cases and everything, Russell Poole was working on the Biggie case as well. I was working on the Biggie case. At what point is he going to tell this lady that? Or is he going to sit here and act like he really was in a detective or a homicide detective on the goddamn Tupac murder? This dude's, he's a fucking clout chaser, bro.
What would you say is the biggest misconception about it?
Well, there's so many conspiracy theories, and they tend to make this a very complicated case. But at the heart of all of this, it comes down to a very simple situation. It's just street actions. It's gang activity, and it's just tit for tat. You do something to us, we're going to retaliate and do something to you. And that's all this really is. It's just an unfortunate situation where a bunch of young people, without a whole lot of respect for human life, took matters into their own hands.
Right. Greg, do you think there would...
Can I give you out a translation to that? A bunch of young niggas acting like animals, killing each other.
Be any utility for prosecutors in bringing in Suge Knight at trial?
None whatsoever. You know, Suge Knight has absolutely no credibility. Law enforcement knows that he's responsible for the murder of Biggie Smalls. He's already...
Whoa, buddy. Whoa. Law enforcement already knows that he's responsible for the murder of Biggie Smalls? If I was Suge, I'll sue the shit out this motherfucker. Where's your proof to that, Greg Kading? Reggie telling you that Poochie got Teresa Swan or Tammy Hawkins to go up there on the visit, and they set it up to Poochie with that Impala? Really? Suge ain't got no credibility. The only motherfucker alive living that saw who was in that car? You ain't got no credibility. You still ain't tell her you worked on Biggie case. You ain't work on the Tupac case. Fraud. This nigga said LAPD no Suge killed nigga. Really? He was trial and convicted of that? You got that from Reggie, nigga. After Reggie told you Southside killed Biggie first. Now Suge killed? Yo, bro. Should shoot the shit out this motherfucker.
Life took matters into their own hands.
Right. Greg, do you think there would be any utility for prosecutors in bringing in Suge Knight at trial?
None whatsoever. You know, Suge Knight has absolutely no credibility. Law enforcement knows that he's responsible for the murder of Biggie Smalls. He's already in prison for another unrelated murder. Every time he opens his mouth, he lies. So there's no credibility with Suge Knight. So therefore, there's no real value in bringing him forward. However, I do say this, that Tupac's case went unprosecuted for 27 years. And if there was one person responsible for that, it's Suge Knight. Suge Knight knew the moment that Tupac got shot, who had shot him. He looked across, he saw Keefe D. They'd known each other since childhood. All he had to do was provide.
Now that we done with the lion ass Greg Caden, let me take y'all over to Russell Poole, because I found some very, very, very valuable information in an interview that I found just scrolling, researching, digging with my man Davey D. Shout out to Davey D from the BX, but Co-op City. But he live in Oakland now. He's a figurehead, you know, in hip hop. He's a very conscious brother that lives out in Oakland now. If you from Oakland, you know who Davey D is. If you real hip hop, you know who Davey D is, right? But Davey D did an interview with Russell Poole and Randall Sullivan, right? Look at this. We're going to get to it today, baby. Still under fair use over here.
Employment were officers, LAPD officers working for death row. Why was that so unusual? And
well, the department,
why were you so surprised
had
about
an
that?
official policy that officers could not work for death row records. The one officer they ever acknowledged knowing worked for death records. He was death row records. He was the only one who actually got a permit. So he was really the only one who was slightly honest. That resulted in a huge investigation. They made him promise that he would never work for death row records again. Then they found out he was in Vegas with Tupac at the time of Tupac's death. So, but
now, for all y'all that don't get when I say that death row didn't hire LAPD off-duty cops or anything, because death row is a record label. Reggie, Right Way Security, was hiring the police Why? Because it was illegal for off-duty LAPD to work for Death Row Records. Right? Now, what's interesting is he said that, yo, only one person got permission and got a permit to work for Death Row, and that was the week when Tupac, they was out there when Tupac got killed. Now, how many of y'all remember that phone conversation between Reggie and Sharita? Right? And Reggie asked Sharita, he said, Kevin Gaines, yeah, did you ever pay him with a check from Death Row Records? Because they saying they got a check from Death Row. And he got, and she, Reggie, I'm I'm a bunch of things, but I ain't that scandalous. Why would I pay him with a check from Death Row when I was hiding him? Wait, unless it was that thing in Vegas, right? Unless it was that thing in Vegas. Let me show you something else. Hold on a second, TikTok. Don't go nowhere. I'm back, TikTok. All right, check it. Y'all remember that, right? Now, this is the FBI files right here. Look what it say. It says, in September 1996, Gaines was assigned to a desk at his workplace 2 days prior to the Tupac shooting until 2 weeks after. Gaines allegedly was on a special assignment, yet was seen in Las Vegas hanging out with Captain So-and-so, who they hiding, allegedly allowed Gaines to be on a special assignment. Blank added that former deputy chief, is that Bernard Parks, allegedly, inner circle at LAPD and believes they all are corrupt because of what they allowed to go on regarding Gaines, Blank and other LAPD officers. All right. But as y'all can see, Gaines allegedly was on a special assignment, yet was seen in Las Vegas hanging out with the captain. Allegedly, that captain allowed Gaines to be on a special assignment. What was the special assignment? Right? Now, I need you to understand again that LAPD could not work for Death Row because it was illegal. And somebody from the LAPD was able to do it.
It it chronicles a whole lot of different things, which leads to the title.
Right.
You're talking about the Rampart police scandal and some of the origins of that, possible origins of that. You're talking about possible people who were behind the murders of popular rap stars Tupac and Notorious B.I.G. And you're talking about the very complex situation surrounding Death Row Records, which is headed by Suge Knight, and in the complexities in the music industry. Let me just kind of jump ship a little bit, and we'll come back to the police part. You talk a lot about Death Row. And one of the things I got from the book, which you guys seem to be surprised about, was the fact that in its employment were officers, LAPD officers working for Death Row. Why was that so unusual, and
Well, the department,
why were you so
the
surprised
department had
about
an
that?
official policy that officers could not work for Death Row Records. The one officer they ever acknowledged knowing worked for Death Records. He was Death Row Records. He was the only one who actually got a permit, so he was really the only one who was slightly honest. That resulted in a huge investigation. They made him promise he would never work for Death Row Records again. Then they found out he was in Vegas with Tupac at the time of Tupac's death. So, but what it is that
Why weren't they allowed to work for Death Row
because
Records?
Death Row Records was considered to be a criminal organization. I mean, Suge Knight, as you know, has a long criminal record, and a lot of the people connected most directly with Suge Knight had long criminal records and of major criminal violence.
Suge's entourage was constructed of the Blood gang members in Los Angeles. Suge Knight was a very powerful individual, and what made him powerful, he had access to just about the entire Blood gang, and he also had dozens of police officers in his back pocket. He also had a district attorney in his back pocket who was actually handling one of his probation cases. He also he had connections with the Compton mayor, and I have a picture of Suge Knight and Mayor Reardon embracing each other. So he had access also to Maxine Waters, and there's a lot of she's a councilwoman in Los Angeles, and she actually stopped a narcotic federal probe in Texas involving her husband's best friend, and actually stopped midway through the investigation.
Right, but I'm trying to keep it connected to Suge and the Death Row situation. One of the things what I said when I started the question was that it seemed like in the book you guys were surprised. And the reason why I'm saying that is because being in the music industry, it was pretty common knowledge that police officers worked not just for Death Row, but they work for a number of artists and institutions and labels, and are often contracted.
Well, it's not illegal to moonlight and work security for a record company. It was only illegal to work for this particular record company.
The reason why I seemed like I was going, why it's so surprised, because it was kind of chronicled in articles. There's been a few articles where people have gone like, I went to Death Row and there were police officers there. The Vibe is probably the most.
Right. Hey, the hip hop press produced a lot of this material, no question about it. And an author named Ronan Rowe compiled a lot of it in his book, Have Gun Will Travel.
But I mean, when this happened, though, did those raise?
But those cops that they were talking about then, supposedly they were from Inglewood, Compton. They were from these other police departments that. Well, Compton was a totally corrupt police department, but still, even they eventually instituted some controls on Death Row, but they didn't have a formal policy saying you cannot work for Death Row Records, and if you do, you'll be fired.
So it was just a situation about LAPD couldn't work for there. Yeah. So let me ask.
That would make sense why Reggie be trying to act like they didn't work for Death Row, because LAPD couldn't work for Death Row. Just LAPD, the corrupt. You heard what they say? Compton police. The motherfuckers. That Compton police department was a corrupt police department. Dirty ass pigs over in Compton PD, right? Known dirty ass pigs that they had. What precinct gets shut down? Because them niggas is so goddamn dirty, right? And that's where Reggie comes from. The goddamn Compton police. When you wondering why the Inglewood police that was with Biggie was able to work with them. And these other police, now you know why. LAPD couldn't work with Death Row. And this is why the Rafael Perez's, the David Max, the Kevin Gaines, all allegedly was working off the books. And you, as you heard Sharita say, Snoop paid this nigga in cash. Now, I've been telling y'all, see, this is why I don't trust Greg Kading, because he got all Russell Poole's work, right? All his investigation, everything. I know, as a bunch of other people know, that chain story is a fucking lie. The chain story is a decoy, an alibi for them niggas to get away with it and throw people off. Yeah, because everybody's going to believe, oh, the nigga Trayvon, the nigga Orlando was the shooter, the nigga Pac jumped on them niggas, Southside had beef with the Mall Pyrus. Nigga, Keefy D told y'all how many times he was cool with Suge. He seen Suge the night before. Suge came over to him and said, yo, what up? You know what I'm saying? Gave the nigga love. They know each other from they were not rivals. And now I'm going to let you hear from Russell Poole's mouth that whole chain shit was a lie.
And so,
anyway, there's no question Tupac was going to leave Death Row. I just want to make that clear. I mean, if you have any question about it, call Charles Ogletree, who's probably the leading black attorney in the United States, and he'll tell you that he was hired to do was get Tupac away from Death Row Records alive. That was essentially his job. And
Tupac knew if he was going to be killed, he knew it was going to be somebody from the Death Row organization. And you know, when you really probe into that incident that night, it all started with the fight. The Tyson fight, and then this incident at the casino involving this Compton Crip named Orlando Anderson.
Right.
And the information I received was that incident was staged to provide a motive that would make the Compton Crips the number one suspect in the murder of Tupac Shakur. You got to.
What I told you. What I told you. So it was an alibi to put it on the Compton Crips, right? Who was the first person to say it was the Compton Crips, y'all? Please put their name in the chat. Please put their name in the chat. Who was the first person in Vegas to call somebody and say it was the Compton Crips? The Southside Crips, I mean. Thank you. 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 We not slow, bro. How would he know? He wasn't even there, right? He didn't see the fight. He wasn't at the shooting. But he called his pops and told him it was the Compton Crips. That shit was a lie, bro. That chain story, the Lakewood shit is a lie. Nobody in fucking LA ever heard of a death row chain, bounty on death row chains. Nobody ever got money on the bounty for death row chains. That shit was a lie, bro. Them niggas had a fight because Trayvon Lane and Baby Lane, both from the LBC, ran into each other. And now Trayvon Lane is from the fucking mob. He from Compton and turned Pyro. Baby Lane is still crippin' and now moved to Compton, but in the South Side, and they clash and they fight and the fucking chain break in the scuffle. And they use that shit as the alibi. That ain't what Trayvon ran over there and told Tupac that made him go flying over the motherfucking Orlando Anderson. Y'all believe that bullshit if you want. Y'all believe that bullshit if you want. And Greg Caden knows this because he got Russell Poole's fucking records.
And so,
anyway, there's no question Tupac was going to leave death row. I just want to make that clear. I mean, if you have any question about it, call Charles Ogletree, who's probably the leading black attorney in the United States, and he'll tell you he was hired to do was get Tupac away from Death Row Records alive. That was essentially his job.
And Tupac knew if he was going to be killed, he knew it was going to be somebody from the Death Row organization. And when you really probe into that incident that night, it all started with the fight. The Tyson fight, and then this incident at the casino involving this Compton Crip named Orlando Anderson.
Right.
And the information I received was that incident was staged to provide a motive that would make the Compton Crips the number one suspect in the murder of Tupac Shakur. You got to remember, after that incident, Suge's entourage leaves. They go to Suge's house for an hour or two, and then they plan this a trip to Suge Knight's nightclub in Las Vegas. And at the last moment, security measures were changed. And I got this information from security guards that were working for Suge Knight, and many of those security officers were police officers. And it all comes down to what good are these armed police officers anyway, because none of them chased the guy. None of them fired their weapons. If they did, they'd be fired from their job. So, all in all, when you look at this case, there was Suge knew he could make a lot of money with Tupac out of the picture. If he leaves, there's going to be problems financially for Death Row.
So this isn't just Russell Poole's theory, by the way. I mean, both of Tupac's main bodyguards, Kevin Hackey and Frank Alexander, have told the police that Suge set Tupac up to die. Right. Snoop Dogg has told the police that Suge had Tupac killed.
But
and I don't
Suge hasn't been charged. Suge hasn't been convicted.
I don't think there's not enough evidence yet to do it.
And in all fairness, there are people that are also connected with the camp.
See, this is way before Russell Poole figured out that it was fucking pork butt. And he, at the end, before he died, he apologized to Suge and be like, "Oh shit, my bad. It's fucking pork butt. It's this dirty fucking pig and shit." Then he goes and tells fucking the police, they say Pork Butt father was there, but Pork Butt father said he wasn't there. But he went and told him, "Yo, no, my bad. It's these motherfuckers." And he dies right there, right in the room, telling them that it was Pork Butt. So when Greg Caden picks up the case, his number one suspect is Pork Butt. He go to him. He said, "Oh, nah, it ain't me." It turned him. Nah, it's Southside killed Biggie in retaliation for Tupac. They ain't get their money for the Tupac killing. And send Greg Caden on this motherfucking wild-ass goose chase. And Greg Caden come back, "Hey, man, you lied to me. Southside was in it. They was there with Biggie. Oh, my bad. It was Poochie. Yeah, Teresa Swan, Tammy Hawkins. Yeah, Suge did it. He got her to come in, and they set it up with Poochie. Yeah, it was Poochie." And then Greg Caden goes off trying to set KVD up on the Biggie shit to find out about the Tupac shit, because Reggie told him they killed Tupac. And they killed Biggie in retaliation. So he started getting into the Tupac shit because Reggie told him they killed Tupac in retaliation, and they was killed Big in retaliation for not getting their money for killing Tupac. And Greg Caden took that shit, ran with it, and sat down, watched R.J. Barnes, Kevin Hackey, Frank Alexander do the Tupac assassination film, went and watched their film, took their theory, what Frankie was saying, how the cause the shooting happened, and act like he fucking found that out. He went and watched fucking, you can see him at the screening. He's at the screening. They didn't know who was in the cars. Frank just talked about how the shit happened. Reggie gave him all that other bullshit story. And remember when he went to KVD said, Greg Cannon pulled the boy down. Shh. You was here, T. Brown was here, Orlando was here. This is how it happened, And you going to say that. KVD, okay. You caught me dirty with the drugs. I'll say anything you want me to say. Yeah. We was in the car. None of his story adds up because Greg Caden fucking drew out the plan for him and told him to agree to it. Let me show you something else. Here we go again. Now check this out. Now remember why police couldn't work at death row, right? Let's see, right?
In notorious B.I.G. And you're talking about the very complex situation surrounding Death Row Records, which is headed by Suge Knight, and in the complexities in the music industry. Let me just kind of jump ship a little bit, and we'll come back to the police part. You talk a lot about Death Row. And one of the things I got from the book, which you guys seem to be surprised about, was the fact that in its employment were officers, LAPD officers working for Death Row. Why was that so unusual? And
well,
why were you so surprised
the department
about
had an
that?
official policy that officers could not work for Death Row Records. The one officer they ever acknowledged knowing worked for Death Row Records. He was the only one who actually got a permit. So he was really the only one who was slightly honest. That resulted in a huge investigation. They made him promise that he would never work for Death Row Records again. Then they found out he was in Vegas with Tupac at the time of Tupac's death. So
Kevin Gaines, did you ever cut in some checks or something like that from Death Row Records? Because I know you ain't cut it from Death Row Records, but you might have did from Nightlife.
He's never,
$10,000?
no.
They got something where they trying to say that they got pictures of check stubs and stuff like that from Death Row Records.
No, never.
Okay. That's what about from Nightlife?
Nope.
What about from Nightlife?
Nope.
I wonder where they killed this shit, bro. Because I know that shit would have killed you, me, and everybody else if he knew.
No.
You could not check that
I'm a whole lot of things. But I ain't that scammer.
Yeah, he would kill your ass.
They lying. They lying. Why would I want a paper trail when I never brought him around nowhere?
Exactly. That's what I was like.
So if I'm gonna hide him in secret, you think I'm gonna let somebody catch a paper trail? Even when he worked with, and I don't even think he's the one that worked. He got his friends to do it. They were paid cash by Snoop.
Yeah.
So no, there is no reason. There's not for those $10,000. That's a made up shit.
Well, any check?
Not that I'm aware of. No, not unless it was that whole other thing.
Yeah,
and it wouldn't have been from death row.
But that would have been later. That would have been to you. It wouldn't have been to.
It would have been.
Yeah, I would have had a paper check for you.
It would have been out of my personal check. And furthermore, I was with Cantron and they wouldn't have given no check.
Exactly.
No. So it would have had to be out of my.
I wonder if Cantron and Kenner was paying that nigga.
I wonder if Kenner and Kentron was paying that nigga. I thought you didn't know him. I thought you didn't know him. Unless it was that other thing. Let me tell y'all something else, right? Thank you, Courtney O. Look at this picture of Kevin Gaines and Mac at the goddamn Peterson Museum, right? This 3:15 in the morning the night Big got killed, right? Look how Kevin Gaines is dressed. Why did this nigga just take the bow tie off? Or do he still got the bow? Look, did he take the bow tie off? Why would he still have his shirt buttoned up all the way to the collar like that? Look at his outfit. What did he do? Just lose the jacket and the bow tie? Who wears a shirt collar like this all the way up? Who does that? And y'all know Kevin Gaines was down with David Mack was down with the Nation of Islam. They on the scene. This is the Biggie murder. Look, you see the time, everything. The camera. Right in front of the Peterson. And remember, Rafael Perez went and signed his name in the morgue just to look at Biggie's body. You tell me that ain't the composite of the first nigga right there? Yeah, okay. Kevin Gaines. And was living with Sharitha at the time. Give y'all a better look. It's your guys right here. There you go, right here, baby. Mac and Gaines right in front of the goddamn Peterson. And these niggas talking about, oh man, they were. And how many other people said they seen him out there? Come on, man. Stop playing. Y'all playing, man. Y'all playing, man. Y'all playing. Y'all playing. Y'all can fake it and play stupid if y'all want. They can fool everybody, but not us over here. Okay? Let them keep trying to fool everybody else. Make sure y'all get that Hip Hop Nucleus is out right now, man. The Tunnel documentary. Choke No Joke, y'all already know Courtney Love. I said Courtney Love. Courtney O, thanks for the love, baby girl. If y'all can't see it, I need y'all to go switch them lenses out. Get you some new ones. Choke No Joke. I will be back in the morning time on my morning grind. I've been slacking, you know what I mean? But I will take myself and get back out there. I think I slacked for like a week. But y'all know what it is. And y'all know who it is, right? I ain't got to tell y'all.
Choke No Joke, yeah. It's Choke No Joke. Choke No Joke, chicken Choke No Joke. Choke No Joke, niggas choke them joke. Choke No Joke, yeah. It's Choke No Joke. Choke No Joke, chicken Choke No Joke. Choke No Joke, niggas choke them joke. Go out to the East Coast, West Coast, put it up. No palm tree the trees and the palms of dealers and fiends. Late night roam the streets. Weed is weaker, but it's cheaper. Not many chicks frontin' like divas. Out west, every chick's a model like Eva, and you know I'm far from believing her. So I'm G'ing her like she G'ing me. Banging in LA is a different thing. At the end, you either dead on the bang, getting out, doing better things. On Sunset, where they hang. Hollywood, where they hustle for change. Times Square here, it's the same. No matter where you go, you'll find a lane. On the west, they kick it with Kane. On the east, trees the social thing. East Coast, West Coast, East Coast, West Coast. Grab your raps, roll it up. If you rap, West Coast, East Coast, West Coast, East Coast, West Coast. Grab your glasses, take a toast. If you rap, East Coast. When I'm on the West and I'm doing my thing, don't offer me coke or your nose I bang. Friends don't offer other deadly things. Thanks for the hospitality, we'll still hang. I won't judge you, leave me as I came. On the road to success, top of the game. Eat all the finer things in the food chain. Teach my kids to do the same. Whether East Coast, West Coast, East Coast, West Coast. Grab your raps, roll it up. If you rap, West Coast, East Coast, West Coast, East Coast, West Coast. Grab your glasses, take a toast. If you rap, East Coast. Gotta love life and offer wonderful things. Being to travel is a privileged thing. Came back to the East, air wasn't fresh. Streets filled with trash, various people in the ass. It's easy to tell who's upper middle class. Police and racism, same as crash. Back to where they not social, where they less vocal. When they don't know you, be careful, show you around the East Coast, West Coast, East Coast, West Coast. Grab your raps, roll it up. If you rap East Coast, whether East Coast, West Coast, East Coast, West Coast, pop your bottles and toss the cork. If you rap West Coast, both coasts are known to give you fame. Got paparazzis playing cameras your way. Got you bobbing and weaving like Cassius Clay. Most thugs turn Muslim in older days. Change their name to Allah they pray. Probably till they decay. This go out to the east and west. For Big and Pac, y'all, let's connect. Rather East Coast, West Coast, East Coast, West Coast. Grab your raps, roll it up. If you rap West Coast, whether East Coast, West Coast, East Coast, West Coast. You can't get the West without the ES. So it's manifested that we connect. You know what it is. Choke, no joke. Learn from mistakes, baby. You know what it is. Greg on the track. Rest in peace, baby. Either war, we here now. You know what it is.